Hi, I'm sorry I'm not able to make it on the phone, so I have a recorded presentation to highlight my environmental coordinator report. Um, I will just review what you have in your packet from myself. So I have my regular council meeting report that has a status update of every commitment number. There isn't really too much that is updated. I mean, just ongoing work, really. I guess one thing that I can update you on is the additional funding request. We had received the grant award for $30,000, and I've been working with Alaska Abatement Corporation with Robert Kern Jr. I heard back from him and his boss over a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. We're aiming for springtime when the monofill in Nome opens so that we can deliver the asbestos there. And so I hope to coordinate other details as the months go on. We do have at least $10,000 in that grant funding for a new vehicle for IGAP. So hoping to figure out how to pay for a truck that costs more than $10,000. Other business, my term on the Regional Tribal Operations Committee ends next month. I have one last meeting in Seattle at EPA headquarters. I've been trying to assist RTOC in replacing my position. So far, we have not been able to find anyone that's eligible. I do have my FY19 grant application attached to this report so that I can review and highlight some of the changes on there. I also have an Honor the Earth grant application that I would like you to approve or deny tonight. It's a small grant. It's up to $5,000. I am requesting $2,003.40, which is a quote that I developed online. And the whole point of the grant application is to fund weatherization kits for a tribal membership. So I thought that would be a great complement to our renewable energy planning efforts in the energy efficiency and energy education for our membership in their homes. So it briefly describes that in the project summary right here. In your council meeting packet, you should also have a copy of the grant narrative in my proposal. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. This is a copy of the small budget, and in the weatherization kit, I put in for a hygrometer and humidity gauge. I think it's a very important educational tool for you to understand the temperature in your home and the condensation, which could create mold, illness, and I think it's really important to have a window insulation kit, very simple, do-it-yourself shrink cling film that you would put on your windows, and then you would get a blow dryer, and then that's how it clings to your window, and that provides an insulation. Should be cost-effective, cost-saving. Also, density foam tape that you can put on the bottom of your doors for the draft. I came up with these items by my former instructor in the sustainable energy classes that I had taken. Oh, and by the way, I have one more class before I receive my certificate. But he recommended these three as a simple do-it-yourself kind of approach. I included in my grant proposal narrative that myself and maybe the Energy Leadership Committee could help me develop a small introductory class online, and it would just introduce the items and their weatherization kit. Everything is detailed in the grant proposal, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. So really quickly, I want to go over the FY19 IGAP application that I have put together. Everything is pretty much the same. Component 1, the management of environmental office, which those commitments are all the same from previous years. Component 2, water quality monitoring. We're going to keep that included on our work plans until we have completed our 5-year baseline. So this upcoming summer would be our 4th year. So we should expect to have this for the next couple years. Component 3 is our environmental research, which is the development of the renewable energy plan, any kind of revisions, and energy education. And so the difference for this component on this grant application is that I included a new commitment number 3.3, and this is on page 3 of the work plan. Increase knowledge and capacity about the environment surrounding our region, educate the local community regarding possible alternative energy solutions. And with that, I had done some research for the Bering Strait region energy plan, which includes our community with all the other communities, and just a regional energy plan. I studied that plan, and as I was done reading, taking notes, I realized that there is a huge educational component that the writers of this plan had aimed to achieve, and a lot of it hasn't been accomplished. So I reached out to Robert Benson, which he, of course, was a huge part of that. He was the energy champion of the region, and so he would like to collaborate with me and other communities to provide these the region with energy education. So I wanted to include that in our work plan so that my staff time dedicated to that is justified. And then we have component number 4, pollution prevention, which is basically our education and outreach for our tribal membership. That is the same. Last year or this year, we weren't able to pay for the youth camp, or wait, no, it was this last year, FY17, we did not have that included in our IGAP work plan or budget, but I'm going to be sure to include that every year from now on. So component 4.3, or I'm sorry, component 4.4 is our youth and elder camp. And then commitment number 4.5 is hosting some educational classes with outside entities such as Bering Strait Development Company with Robert Benson, with other local entities, other tribal offices or environmental offices and staff. And so I included that in this work plan. We have the FY19 detailed budget worksheet. So this is also the same, except for page 4. I included the community classes supplies for component 4.5. at, since I hope to partner with other entities biannually, I put $500 times 2, so we would spend $1,000 in that fiscal year to help educate the region. And then on page 6, the first item is the building and lease rent. So before we had a set rate because we were renting, and this budget is going to be for October 1st, 2018. That's the beginning of this budget if we are awarded this grant. So we will have owned the office that we are currently moving into and in the process of owning. So I have to kind of reflect this budget to represent that time. And I had done some research and reached out to other tribes in the region, and also to another project officer who's not in our region, and ANAMA, and basically came up with the fact that IGAP is always going to rent out some space. It just kind of depends on the tribe and how they are going to charge IGAP. Most of it would have to be justified by what it costs to operate that office. And before we were paying $639 a month, and I just thought that maybe $525 a month is reasonable. But I totally expect that to change. You guys would know more about that than I do, and it's up to you guys setting that rental rate. So everything else is all the same in this budget other than those 2 changes. And then the total currently is at 126,663, and our cap, the budget cap, the maximum we can request in this budget is 128,000. So I hope to hear back in regard to this grant application, because I am hoping to get an approval for this IGAP grant and also the Honor the Earth grant application quite soon, so I can turn in the applications as soon as I can. Our project officer has requested we submit these proposals as soon as possible. And then we do have an upcoming renewable energy strategic gathering with the Anchorage membership. I was told that it's not just for renewable energy, but I do plan on having a lot of those discussions, and I have a presentation to educate them, and then I want to review the renewable energy plan. We'll also have a couple guests that will be attending to enhance that education. I also plan to do a Jeopardy game to end the gathering. I'll be working with Liz to host this. We'll be at the Homewood Suites. I created a Facebook event for it, and I also created an environmental coordinator Facebook page, and the only people that I'm adding on my friends list are tribal membership, because I want to have a direct and open relationship with them and an easy way to access information or give them updates, make announcements. I want to have that communication line very open, especially because I am not in Nome or in Anchorage. Everyone is spread out. So far it's been working out really well. I really enjoy having that Facebook page. So thank you for taking the time to review my presentation that I have for you, and I look forward to hearing your feedback and any questions if you have. Thanks. Have a good night.